Hello guys, a very good evening and a very happy and a prosperous Yugadi, Gudi Padwa, Pongal and all the different festivals that you guys are celebrating across the country known by different names. It is the festival that marks the beginning of a new year. It also marks the new harvest season. It also marks the beginning of the incoming of the beautiful fruit mangoes. So it's a very amazing occasion. So wishing you all a very prosperous, amazing and abundant, full of festive season, right? So welcome to the session guys, and we are continuing with the bridge course for grade 9. So first of all, a very warm welcome to everybody who is stepping into grade 9. It's going to be a very amazing, a very learning full year where we learn a lot, we grow and we become better people, better citizens to the country and better assets to the society, right? My name is Pritesh. I'm your host, your dose and a proud educator from Embibe who is going to hold your hand tight and take you throughout the journey of grade 9th and 10th. And today we are doing the part 2 of the bridge course of grade 9. Yesterday we learned about, chapters like fundamental unit of life, issues that you are going to learn in your grade 9, and today we are continuing the journey. We also learnt about diversity in living organisms. Today we'll be speaking about the other chapters of your grade 9. Okay? So before we move ahead, let me tell you a little bit about the amazing Embibe page which gives you completely free of cost immersive learning experience and an unlimited access to test, assignment, study material, question, solution, explanation to solution, books, reference books, NCRTs, and that too of any board, any grade, any subject, and in any language. So make sure that you explore the Embibe page, and you can also download the Embibe app, which is freely available on Google Store and Apple Store. Also, guys, do connect with us on Telegram, because Telegram is a channel where you can get your academic doubts solved by your favorite educators. That is, Ankana Mama, Surbi Mama, Sushmita Mama, Tushar Sir, or myself. And guys, if you haven't downloaded the if you haven't downloaded the Telegram app yet, so you can download it freely from Google Store or Apple Store. Just scan this QR code and become a part of the Embibe Achieve CBSE 9th-10th Telegram channel. You also get the PDFs of the session, and you also get updates of whatever is happening on the channel, right? Apart from that, guys, if you want to connect with me, so you can follow me on Instagram at biology with Pritesh. That's my Insta handle, biology with Pritesh. You can follow me over there and we can connect, and we can talk and discuss biology. And if you feel like talking anything, I'm right there for you on Instagram always. Okay? So now guys, let's talk about the bridge course of class 9 part 2. So all those who are entering grade 9, they will be going through for biology chapters like fundamental unit of life, then its extension, tissues, then we talk about diversity in living organisms, then why do we fall ill, natural resources, and improvement in food resources. So there are 6 chapters in your grade 9 biology. First is fundamental unit of life, where we talk about cell discovery, cell theory, we talk about the different cell organelles, we talk about prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell. Then we talk about tissues. What are tissues? Plant tissues, meristematic tissue, permanent tissue, complex permanent, simple permanent. We talk about animal tissues, epithelial tissues. Then we talk about connective, nervous, and skeletal tissues. That is the muscular tissue. Then we move on to the chapter called diversity in living organism, where we talk about the different kinds of organisms. We talk about kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, Monera, Protista, fungi, Plantae, Animalia, chordates, non-chordates, then phanerograms, cryptogams, thallophyta, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperms, angiosperms, dicots, monocots, and then echinodermata, hemichordata, chordata, platyhelminthes, nematodes, cnidarias, then your mammalia, aves, spices, your balanoglossus, so many different types of organisms. It's a beautiful and variety full of chapter, that is diversity in living organisms. And now we move on to the second part, where we talk about why do we fall ill. In this particular chapter, we discuss what is a disease, what are the different types of diseases, what are the causes of diseases, what are the vectors of diseases, how can you prevent the different types of diseases, right? And then, so we become like, mini doctors in this session. In natural resources, obviously we talk about the biotic, abiotic, how to utilize them, how to judiciously use them, how is their overutilization, exploiting them, etc., etc. And in improvement in food resources, we talk about everything from green revolution to white revolution to yellow revolution, blue revolution, at the genetic hybridization of seeds that gives you a better yield, etc., etc., intercropping, mixed cropping, all these different terms we'll be discussing, right? So improvement in food resources is an extension from your grade 8 chapter crop production and management. तो आपके ग्रेड 8 का जो सबसे पहला चैप्टर है क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन एंड मैनेजमेंट, उसका एक्सटेंशन है इंप्रूवमेंट इन फूड रिसोर्सेज. And whatever you learnt in microorganisms, friend and foe, harmful microorganisms का little extension and more advanced is why do we fall ill. ठीक है. So grade 8 के बाद you go a step higher and you step in grade 9. ठीक है. So let's start with why do we fall ill. Now, according to WHO, health is a state of physical, mental and social well-being of an individual. Only if you are physically fit and you are mentally going through some kind of anxiety or stress, or you are or somebody is having some kind of a mental breakdown or a mental disorder, then the person cannot be called as healthy. If somebody is physically fit, mentally fit, but a criminal, you cannot call that person healthy because that person is not socially fit. If somebody is mentally and physically healthy and fears to go in public, or is starts trembling when is asked to talk to public, that is not healthy. So health is not just physical health or physical fitness. It is not just mental peace. It is social well-being as well, right? So overall, how are you as a person? How are you as a human being physically? And how are you as a member of a society? All of that accumulates to health according to World Health Organization. Now you tell me that which of these can affect our health? Lack of nutritious food, proper sanitation, microbes, fear, social inequality, lack of proper medical facilities, or violence. Which of these can affect our health? So definitely there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes, and here there are 7. So lack of nutritious food, proper sanitation, microbes, lack of proper medical facilities, social inequality, and violence, right? Let's see whether we are right. And I think, yeah, if you see, okay, proper sanitation, obviously if the sanitation is proper, then how will our health get affected? So fear also. So again, as I told you, mental stability, mental peace is also something that contributes to our health. Okay? So that is why your fear will also come under something that affects our health. And now, diseases can be classified as acute diseases, like which stay for a very, very short period of time, like cold, right? Then chronic, which goes for a very, very long period of time, like asthma or diabetes. Congenital disease, which comes from birth, like hemophilia, like thalassemia, the genetic linked diseases. Acquired disease, which you get after birth, like polio. Now, under acquired disease, there can be infectious and non-infectious. Infectious diseases are the ones that spread from one person to another, like COVID-19, like common cold, like influenza, like tuberculosis, right? And then the ones which do not spread from one person to other, like diabetes, cancer, asthma, headache, heart attack, right? These don't spread from one person to the other. Cancer also. Now, the disease can be non-infectious or infectious. When I talk about non-infectious diseases, they are non-contagious and they can be caused by lifestyle factors. Like if somebody listens to very, very loud music, then the person can develop a headache. Environmental toxins, if there is too much of lead, the person in the environment, staying in a very, very polluted area, lead poisoning can happen because of environmental toxins. Gene mutations can cause thalassemia, right? Examples are cancer and diabetes. But yeah, then also I'm talking about non-infectious ones. Infectious ones can be caused by external agents known as infectious agents. Now these agents can be microbes, these agents can be contaminated food water. Again, in contaminated food water also there are the microbes which are causing the disease. Like in contaminated water, if there is Vibrio cholerae, the person will get cholera. If there is Salmonella typhi, the person will get typhoid. Right? You can see over here, this cute little kid is not feeling well. There can be multiple reasons for the kid to not feel well. It can be fever, it can be weakness, fatigue, headache, anything. Okay? You can see it is the microbes that are affecting the blood of the human being. See, this is a test for blood sugar. Right? Anyway, and now when I talk about infectious agents, as I told you, they are mostly microbes, organisms that can spread and cause disease. Four main classes are bacteria, virus, fungi, and parasites. So if I talk about bacteria, bacteria come in four different shapes. You have got rod-shaped bacteria that you can see over here is bacilli. You have got spherical bacteria, which is called as cocci. You have got comma-shaped bacteria, that is the Vibrio, and then there is the spiral-shaped bacteria, that is Spirilla. Bacteria can cause typhoid, Salmonella typhi, tuberculosis by Mycobacterium tuberculosis, anthrax by Bacillus anthracis. It can cause cholera by Vibrio cholerae. Okay? Then, when I talk about virus, so virus can cause COVID, that is the coronavirus. It can cause AIDS, HIV, HPV, human papillovirus, right? Virus can also cause influenza. Okay? So virus again is one of the deadliest microorganisms. Fungi can cause ringworm. Ringworm is something that happens because of fungi. There is a STI, sexually transmitted infection, that is caused by a fungi. And then parasite. Parasite can cause tapeworm. It can cause ringworm. All of those happen because of parasites. Lice is an example of a parasite. Mosquito is an example of a parasite. Okay? Those who feed on the host. So these are different kinds of microbes which spread infectious diseases, and that is why they are called as infectious agents. Now there's a question over here that from the given, select the cause for infectious disease and place them into the drop box. Okay? So the cause for infectious disease will be a parasite, and it can also be a fungi. Lack of exercise can cause obesity. Obesity is not an infectious disease. Plants cannot cause disease unless and until you consume an infectious plant. Changes in the genetic material can cause a genetic disorder, but then it is not infectious. And animals cause a disease, but then it's not infectious. Like if a rabid dog bites a human, the human will get rabies, but that rabid human cannot spread rabies to others unless and until, I don't know, if he bites them, it might happen. Right? And we are correct that parasites and fungi are both infectious agents. And then we move on further, and we have another question, that which of the following diseases do you think people would suffer for a very long duration? Which means I'm talking about your chronic diseases. So flu, arthritis, hypertension, measles, elephantiasis, TB, and chickenpox. So few days back on Embibe Achieve CBSE class 6 to 8, I had done a very interesting topic on joint pain versus arthritis. So there you get to learn about arthritis, that it is a medical condition. I had also done a video on common cold versus flu. So on Embibe Achieve CBSE class 6 to 8, I'm running a series called Curious Mind, where I come every day at 5:30 and we discuss so many topics, everything from currency versus UPI to, technology, to why all cars look similar, to biology topics, chemistry, social studies, economics, so many different things we talk. So make sure that you see those videos once, and it's really quite informative. So now talking about the long duration based diseases. So arthritis is something which is a medical disorder. Then TB also the person goes through for a very long time. Hypertension also. And measles can be cured by a vaccine. Flu also. Elephantiasis. Chickenpox, I think 21 days. So let me see whether we are right or wrong. We are absolutely correct. Arthritis, hypertension, elephantiasis, and tuberculosis are chronic, whereas your flu and measles and chickenpox, they go, like chickenpox I think within 20 days, Measles depends on the medicine. Like I also think measles 15 to 20 days and flu can go away in a week or so. Okay? So these were acute and chronic diseases. Again, we have a very, very interesting question, and that is identify the different ways of disease prevention in pink bubbles and connect them to the respective blue bubbles. Very good. So different ways of disease prevention. So vaccines, safe drinking water, mosquito control and good nutrition, and connect them to their respective blue bubbles. So general ways are, you should always have safe drinking water, you should always have good nutrition and mosquito. Vaccine will be for a specific disease, like for measles, for smallpox, for COVID-19, for chicken pox, for tetanus. There are vaccines for hepatitis A, hepatitis B, but always drink safe water, always have good clean food, always keep mosquitoes away. These are general ways to prevent diseases in general, and that definitely is my correct answer, right? Then natural resources. So we come to the next topic now, which is on natural resource. So resource is anything which is present in the environment that humans can use. Okay? So that can be soil, that can be sunlight, that can be plants, animals, that can be fossil fuels, that is coal, petroleum, natural gas, that can be water, that can be anything. So air, water, sunlight, soil, minerals, plants and animal products, fossil fuels, these all are natural resources. Identify and select the biotic components from the given picture. Now, biotic components are your living components, which include plants, animals and microorganisms. Abiotic components are the non-living ones, which include your air, sunlight, water, soil, rocks, etc. etc. A successful interaction, a harmonious interaction between the biotic and abiotic components form your ecosystem. So here they are asking us to identify the biotic ones. So this is biotic, then deer is biotic, leaf is biotic, tree stump is biotic, whereas your sunlight, water, sand, clouds, these are abiotic, and we are absolutely correct. So your plants, animals and microorganisms, they make the biotic components, whereas your sunlight, water, air, rocks, soil, they make the abiotic components. Connect the main bubble with the correct options which are showing an interaction between biotic and abiotic. Very interesting. Human eating plants. Now human and plants, they both are biotic. A tree using the sun to carry out photosynthesis, definitely successful interaction. Fish using the sea as its habitats, yes. Bacteria breaking down the dead plant material, this also yes. So, bacteria and dead plant, they again will be your biotic. So these two. Tree using the sun, because tree is living, sun is non-living, whereas fish using the sea, where fish is living and water is non-living. Now even though water is full of different life forms, it is still considered as a non-living entity, okay, as a abiotic component. So the sun is abiotic, sea water is abiotic, plant is not abiotic. So tree using the sun to carry out photosynthesis and fish using the sea as its habitats, these both are examples of a successful interaction between the biotic and the abiotic. Natural resources. When I talk about pollution, pollution is contamination of the natural resource, making it unfit for use. Like water pollution will be the contamination of water or the presence of harmful substances in the water, making it unfit for human consumption. Air pollution will be the presence of harmful pollutants in the air, making it unfit for human consumption. So pollution is the introduction of harmful substances that cause drastic changes in the environment and harms the residents. Now, so nicely we have defined pollution, but we are the main causes of pollution, right? Human activities are the biggest contributor to any kind of pollution, whether it is soil pollution or air pollution or water pollution, any kind of. Okay? Soil, water, air and noise. Noise pollution is to humans only. Even soil, even water, even air. Now there are natural causes of pollution also, like tsunami or volcanic eruption or an earthquake. They also cause pollution, or a flood. But maximum contributor is human. Even forest fires are natural causes of air pollution. Okay? So you can see here is a nice demonstration of how humans are utilizing the natural resources and exploiting them as well. So, which of the following are the causes of air pollution? So here is sewage, drainage, so no. This is solar and wind energy, so no. This is factory exhaust and volcanic eruptions. So they both are causes of air pollution, right? Then connect the green bubbles with the red to show the relevant impact of pollution. Loss of nutrients from the soil is soil pollution. Monuments getting eroded is because of acid rain. It causes breathing issues, irritation, and eyes and heart problems is air pollution. Poisoning aquatic life in the water bodies is water pollution, right? And we are absolutely correct. Now, eroding of the monuments. So, what happened was that Agra, which is in Uttar Pradesh, it has got the wonder of the world called Taj Mahal. It's a beautiful monument. Now, few years ago, because of the Mathura oil refinery, Mathura is again very, very near to Agra. Mathura oil refinery and various other rubber factories which are near Agra, because of the exhaust release of these factories, which was sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide, this SO2 and NO2. I'll just show it to you on the screen. This SO2 and NO2. This mixed with the water vapor of the atmosphere, and it formed H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, and HNO3, that is nitric acid. Now, when they were formed, they formed the clouds, and these clouds only came down as rain. And now when this rain was coming, this rain was nothing but a rain of acid. Now, when this acid rain, it fell on the monument like Taj Mahal, it is marble. Marble is nothing but limestone, right? So this limestone or calcium carbonate, it got eroded and the marble started turning yellow, which we also call as marble. See, acid rain destroys monuments. It is also called as marble cancer, right? Now, because of which the Taj Mahal started turning greenish yellow. It was smelly and it was very, very dirty looking. Then the restoration work started and now the Taj Mahal is as bright as ever. So I was lucky to see the white one, but then the Taj Mahal had turned greenish yellow some years back. So that was because of the oil refineries, and then further action was taken and now the pollution levels are quite in control. And that is why acid rain, it spoils the monuments. Okay? Now, the next is the biogeochemical cycle. So under biogeochemical cycles, which biogeochemical. Now if you look at this term biogeochemical, bio means life, geo means earth, and chemical. The relationship between life, earth, and chemicals is a biogeochemical cycle, which means a relationship between life, earth, and the chemicals, like water cycle. In water cycle, I have evaporation, evapotranspiration, condensation, and precipitation. Oxygen cycle mein, I have oxygen which is taken in by humans and other animals, release carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is taken in by the plants and release oxygen through photosynthesis, which is again consumed by animals. Carbon cycle mein, again the carbon is released by the different forms. We have carbon release, and this carbon is absorbed to form the seashells, right? So carbon is also absorbed in a large quantity to form the seashells and calcium carbonates in the aquatic life. And the nitrogen cycle is the nitrogen fixation. So these four cycles, oxygen, water cycle, carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, you will be studying in the chapter natural resources. Okay? A biogeochemical cycle is the movement of matter or energy through biotic and abiotic components of the biosphere. That is, different components, that is life and earth and chemicals, etc., etc. So water also can be called as a chemical because it is a universal solvent. On the burning of fossil fuels, poisonous gases like carbon dioxide are released into the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide and other such gases trap the heat of the atmosphere and cause global warming. So here we are talking about the greenhouse effect. Now, millions of years ago, there was no life on Earth and the Earth was a cold desert. Then gases like carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, fluorinated gases, these started developing around the Earth in the atmosphere. Now these gases, what they do is, the sun's heat just comes on the Earth, but these gases trap it. they don't let the sun's heat go back into space. They trap it, and because of that, the earth started getting warmer. So the cold desert started melting up and melting down rather, and life started coming on earth. So this is called as the greenhouse effect. The trapping of the heat of the sun by the gases like carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide and methane and fluorinated gases to heat up the earth is called greenhouse effect. Now this greenhouse effect is extremely critical. It is extremely important for the earth, because if these gases are not there, the earth will again become a cold desert and there will be no life. Now, where is the problem then? The problem is that when these greenhouse gases become excess, when they become more than required, and when the trapping of the heat exceeds the normal, and now the temperature of the earth is increasing to an extent that the required ice is also melting, and that is when global warming happens. So greenhouse effect is extremely good. The problem is when the greenhouse effect becomes global warming. That is where all the problem starts, right? So carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, fluorinated gases, they in a limit are extremely good, but when it turns to global warming, that is when all the problem starts. Now because of global warming, there is a rise in the temperature of the earth, the rise in oceanic temperature, polar ice caps are melting. Because of polar ice caps melting, there can be flood, right? And increase in the wildfires as well, because the wood is getting more and more dry off. Now, drag the pictures of all the causes of global warming. So the causes of global warming will be definitely floods, desertification, then this will be one of the cause, and this also will be one of the cause. Oh, so we are right only about one. So this, causes, I wrote consequences, sorry. So the causes will be definitely volcanic eruption, desertification, CFCs and vehicle exhaust. So these are all the consequences, not the causes. Okay, my bad. So global warming is caused because of these different effects like deforestation, vehicle air pollution, increased use of air conditioners and refrigerators, and volcanoes are the causes of global warming. Now, the trapping of the sun's heat and radiation by the Earth's atmosphere is called the greenhouse effect. As I told you, that greenhouse effect is extremely critical. It is extremely important for the Earth. The problem starts when this greenhouse effect becomes global warming. As you can see over here, the sun's heat is reaching, but it is getting trapped back. This trapping back is happening because of the greenhouse gases. So here is a question. What role do the greenhouse gases play in our atmosphere? Drag the correct answer to the box. They trap some of the sun's heat and radiation inside the atmosphere. They block the harmful radiation from reaching the earth. They keep all of the air within the earth, and they make the atmosphere cooler. Obviously, this is the answer, that the greenhouse effect will trap the heat of the sun and keep the earth warm. The problem is when they keep the earth extra warm, right? Chalo. Now, we talk about improvement in food resources. As I told you, here you will be learning about green revolution, yellow revolution, blue revolution, right? And the white revolution. So, basically, all living organisms need food as a resource. A crop is a plant that is grown to feed the growing population, as it is a good source of nutrients. Growing population and climate change contribute to the decline of land area for crop production. Now, the problem with extremely populated countries like India and China are that the demand for food is very high. Obviously, more the number of people, more the amount of food you will need. The problem is that the demand is very, very high. The production and the management is less. Production also, I won't say it's less, because India is predominantly an agricultural country. So production of food is not a problem in the country. The problem is the management of that food. Some people or some regions of the country are getting too much, and some regions of the country are getting too less. And because of this disparity, because of this inequality in the distribution of food resources, that is where problems like poverty, famine, and scarcity of food, and hunger and malnourishment, kwashiorkor, marasmus, all these nutrition based diseases arises when there is a huge disparity in the distribution of the food. Classification of the crops. So crops are classified in India based on the season. We have got the monsoon season crops, that are the kharif crops like your paddy, maize, soyabean, who require a lot of water. We have got the winter season crops, that are the rabi crops like your gram, pea, mustard, linseed, wheat, etc. And then you have got the zaid crops, which are now in season, which are during the summers, like your watermelon, muskmelon, etc. etc. All your succulents, they are under zaid crops. So which of the following is not a kharif crop? So we are talking about monsoon crops. So we have to identify which of these is not a monsoon crop. So maize, potato, cotton and rice. So which of these do not require a lot of water? So let's see, according to me, it should be cotton. And we are wrong. The answer will be your potato. So potato is not a kharif crop. Potato is not a crop that requires lot of water. Okay? Potato is a rabi crop. And that is why potato we are getting a lot now. So now if you see in the market currently, like in March, you are seeing a lot of potato in the market, and that too at a very, very lesser cost. Why? Because the farmers have harvested the potato. The potato was sown somewhere in October, November. It was harvested in Jan, Feb, and now it is ready to be sold. And that is why you are seeing so much of potato in the market. Potato, onion, tomato, all these are being seen in surplus and also at a very, very lesser cost. Like, I don't know about other cities, but here in Bangalore, you're getting onion, 6 kgs of onion for 100 rupees. That means it is less than 20 rupees per kg. The same is with tomato as well. Potato also you are seeing in surplus. Why? Because it is a rabi crop. It was harvested in Jan, Feb, and now it is out for sale in the market. Right? Then, crop production and management, we also learn about nutrient management, that is the supply of manure and fertilizers to the crop. Manure can be compost, green manure and vermicompost. Okay? Green manure comes from plants. Irrigation can be done in the form of well, canals, river lift system and tanks, and cropping pattern can be mixed cropping, crop rotation or intercropping. All this in, now there's no point in telling you all this in detail because you're going to learn when we learn the chapter improvement in food resources. Then, mixed cropping is 2 or more crops simultaneously on the same piece of land. It reduces the risk and gives some insurance against failure of one of the crop. Like you can grow same season but wheat and gram, wheat and mustard, or groundnut and sunflower, same seasonal crops. Intercropping is growing 2 or more crops simultaneously on the same field in a definite pattern. So you have rows, right? Utilizes maximum nutrients and prevents spread of disease and pests like soybean, maize or finger millet. And then crop rotation is one season one crop, second season another crop. The growing of different crops on a piece of land in a pre-planned succession is crop rotation. Like first you can grow rice, then wheat, then moong, then mustard, one after the other. Or cotton, oats, sugarcane, peas, maize, wheat in succession in the order. Now, can you name these patterns? Match up the labels. So one is mixed cropping and one is intercropping. So you can see over here, this is very, very well defined, right? So this will be my intercropping, right? And this is random. So this will be my mixed cropping. You can see how nicely they have grown 2 crops, but how nicely they have planned it. And here it is like a khichdi, right? So that definitely is my correct answer. So intercropping means you have 2 or more crops which are nicely defined and grown, right? Whereas in mixed cropping, you grow simultaneously without any proper pattern. Okay? Then, a farmer plans to do crop rotation in his field. He has grown maize in his field. Now, which of the following should he grow next? So, wheat he should grow next, or he should grow, this is again a form of chana, right? So, when I'm talking about maize, it is a kharif crop, wheat is a rabi crop, and we are talking about crop rotation. So maize is corn, and now he needs proteins, so he must grow chana, right? Because after corn, if he grows his chana, that is a leguminous plant which will give a lot of nitrogen to his soil, and his soil will be very, very fertile and ready to grow the next crop. So the farmer should grow chickpeas after the maize so that the level of nitrogen gets replenished in the soil. Right? And then we talk about animal husbandry. So when I talk about agriculture, agriculture is not only limited to crop farming. agriculture means food production. Now, food production can be through crops or it can be through animal food. Food agriculture means production of food and food products, right? So it is crops plus animals as well. And when I talk about animal husbandry, here I have got 4 branches of animal husbandry. And these 4 branches of animal husbandry include your pisciculture, that is of the fish, for fish, meat plus oil. Then I have got apiculture for bee wax and honey. I've got cattle, that is dairy, and poultry. Poultry is for meat plus eggs. Dairy is for milk plus milk products. Okay? So these are the different forms of animal husbandry. Now, advantages of animal husbandry is it increases the availability of milk. Milk is a complete food in itself, eggs and meat, source of income for farmers, and it provides proper management of domestic animals. Now, do you know that farmers can do apiculture even in their farm? Even in the farm, if you put bee boxes, your pollination will increase, bees will get good life, and if the bees are more, obviously the human population is also safe, and there is an additional source of income. So apiculture is very easy and the farmers can do it in their farms as well. Now, here is a very interesting question. This is the last question. Drag and drop the labels below the food products obtained from each type of farming. From cattle farming, we get milk. From poultry farming, we get eggs. From beekeeping, we get fish. And from fish production, that is pisciculture, we get fish meat and fish oil, right? So that becomes my correct answer. Now, that was all about your grade 9 bridge course, where we spoke about your all the 6 chapters of your grade 9, right from fundamental unit of life to tissues to diversity to why do we fall ill to natural resources to improvement in food resources. Now, out of these, why do we fall ill and diversity, these are the 2 chapters that the CBSE had scrapped for the last academic year, that is 2022-2023. What is the new or updated syllabus for 2023-24 that we'll get to know in few days. But safer side, I have covered all the chapters of your grade 9 in this bridge course, that is part 1 that we did yesterday and part 2 that we are doing today, right? So that is all from, that was all as an introduction to your grade 9 syllabus. When we start the academic year, most probably from April we'll have an orientation session as well. Then we'll be going deeper into what all are we going to learn, and we'll have a great time, because the academic year that we are planning for you is super fun filled. It has live sessions, it has quiz sessions, it has so much, it has talk shows and motivational classes and a lot more. So just stay tuned. And guys, if you have enjoyed this video, if you have found this video informative, do not forget to give this video a big fat thumbs up. Do share it with all your future grade 9 friends, and also guys, subscribe to Embibe Achieve CBSE Class 9 and 10 because it's absolutely free of cost. And until I meet you next, this is Pritesh, your host, your dose, and a proud educator from Embibe, signing off for now. Take care of yourself, stay healthy, stay happy, stay blessed. Do connect with us on Telegram as well by scanning the QR code. Join me on my Instagram at Biology with Pritesh, and do not forget to keep imbibing because we believe in you.
Keep imbibing. We believe in you.